Because on the other side of the equation, though, Carlos, the part I find really bizarre goes like this. And this is what you're going to have to explain to me, because I haven't even tried asking you privately about this, because I wanted to do publicly and see what you say, right? If you don't want to sell perks to Fnatic for obvious reasons, he's like an iconic player, maybe you'd make a dynasty, blah, blah, blah. Why sell Wunder there then? Like, I thought you're not selling players to Fnatic, but now you're selling Wunder. And why is Wunder being sold? As far as I can tell, why were more people bidding on Wunder than fucking Reckless? Like, if I look at the last year, Reckless played way better than Wunder. Give me some thoughts on this angle. What happened with the Wunder deal, basically?
Yeah, so I actually never... it's not when a player joins G2. Like, I've never told a player when he joins G2, you're not going to join Fnatic. But the context of my relationship with perks and all the conversations we had about Fnatic, including specific conversations of like, you would never go to Fnatic, like actual specific concrete sentences like those. But the whole context of our relationship made it impossible that Fnatic was even an option ever, you know? Well, with other players, it's not the case because there is not that emotional baggage or like that emotional connection with them. There's just Fnatic is just another team. If you asked me 3 years ago, typically, you know, you would see my respect for a team is proportional to my amount of roasting. Okay, so.
So that means you really like Fnatic then? You just roast them all the time?
I mean, I respected them back then. I no longer do, but I did. I think they're just an average business, you know? They're okay. I mean, they're okay. They're okay. But it's not like before, you know? I did look up to them in some areas.
Sure.
Now I look up to 100 Thieves in many other areas. And it pisses me off when they do things well. And I roast them and blah, blah, you know? But I hold them in high esteem, you know? But yeah, it's like, it's just perks to Fnatic. That's it. Now, if you give me the option between selling Wunder to Fnatic or selling Wunder to Excel, then I'd rather, and both of them pay the same, I'd rather sell them to Excel, right? Because Fnatic is more of a challenge to deal against than Excel is. I'm not talking competitively only, I'm talking just in terms of like competition outside the game as well, business, right? Business-wise. So... But it is not enough of a reason not to sell him to Fnatic at all, you know? Fnatic even paid very low for Wunder. But I'll be honest, bro. Like, Wunder... Okay, I'll be honest. Very honest. Like, I felt... what's the word I'm looking for? When your friend does something really bad to you. Like you trusted him, but your friend
betrayed,
yeah. I felt betrayed by Luca wanting to go to Fnatic, right? And the way everything played out, which was, you know, right after Worlds or during Worlds, actually, like right after Worlds, like days after Worlds losing, he's already in Fnatic, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I wonder what happened, you know, without me learning, I think without me even knowing, right? Like that's just the whole thing was just a mess, and I did feel betrayed in that regard. So with Wunder, I never felt like that in this off season. He's a bit careless, right, about these things. It's true, like he's not like the most organized person or whatever, but at the same time, bro, he did his best in summer split to make it work. He changed his lifestyle in the off season. He's tried to accommodate, right, and I respect him. I respect him and what he's done to try to make it work, both in game and outside the game. So I realized that if there was no Fnatic, he was going to be teamless for the year. And I said, all right, let's fucking sell you to Fnatic. All good, bro. And that's what happened. Like, again, like, see what I mean? Like, I'm not an angel, right? Like, my priority list in life, of course, number one, the health of me and my family. But like number two is G2. And everything else comes after. Everything else comes after. Right? That's my priority list. My hierarchy of how I take decisions, right? And I still decided for him to go to Fnatic for a low amount. So people just need to focus on these things as well, right? If you're gonna talk about my off-season dealings, just talk about these things as well, right? And just judge them the same way you judge the other things, and the same way you judge Mickey staying on the bench or whatever, judge Jensen or Niski staying on the bench. You know what I mean? And this is not an invisible brand making the decision. These are people making the decision, typically the CEO making the decision. Not because I'm the only one that tweets. G2 happens to be the only org where the team owner takes the decision, you know? So, yeah, I guess it is what it is, bro. I guess it is what it is. You know, I just you know what I like about all this, bro? Like between the Twitter Spaces thing, making interviews like this one, is that I can move on mentally, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like anybody that says, oh, you're a liar, blah, blah. Look, brother, there's information out there. Look for it and go fuck yourself. You know? It's like my peace of mind is there.
What would you say about that angle? Listen, again, the problem with some of this information, if people don't get it, is because I myself am getting it through publicly whack sources, like people who are anonymous and guys that have no fucking consequences. I have to find out from Carlos sometimes if something's even happened. So there was that story that implied in the off season that like you guys put the price up for Wunder to Fnatic because like you knew that like Fnatic was going to sell Adam to fucking BDS or whatever. You remember this whole drama that got made about like G2's trying to fuck with Fnatic and make them pay more. What would you say to this angle?
I don't even remember that. I don't even remember seeing that. I swear to God, I don't even remember seeing that. What was it again?
It was something along the lines of like you were going to sell Wunder to Fnatic, but then you found out that like Fnatic was going to get more money by selling Adam to BDS or something, and so you guys upped your amount to like match the same amount that they would. Something like that. Again, it was like the idea that like Fnatic had a win.
I haven't even read any of this. Like okay. You know, like it's not true. Okay, yes, that's it. It's not true.
Want to see more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.